Welcome back to another episode of You Asked For It. This is the show where you send us questions and we spend time talking about them whilst also sharing our heavy opinions.
Whilst also?
Yes.
Okay.
That's some great grammar, wasn't it?
That is awesome.
No, but for real, we do share our opinions quite a bit in this, so just, viewer discretion advised. Anyway, we didn't have a ton of questions roll in. However, there's one kind of, as I'm scrolling through online and reading different articles and being on Facebook, there's kind of a reoccurring question that I kind of see that I think would be worthy of discussing today. Okay. It's political, so buckle up, Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin doesn't like talking about politics.
He's just got giddy inside.
So we are in an election year, okay?
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, boy.
There's a lot of stuff going on, but outside of that, I've seen a few different Christian organizations, call it what you want. They've posed the question, should Christians be voting for Donald Trump if he is not kind of... I don't know. They've worded it in a way where it's like he doesn't really elude Christian behavior. And then along with that, I've seen other people ask, okay, well, if I'm not voting for Donald Trump, my other option is Joe Biden. So is it kind of picking the lesser of two evils? But then there's other people who have said, well, if you don't feel good with one of those, just vote third party. But then other people rebuttal with that. If you vote third party, it's kind of just like you're throwing your vote away. So there's a few questions wrapped into there. I think you got them. I think everybody else got them. But I thought we should spend some time talking about it for people who maybe have had that very question running around their head, or Christians who have thought, I don't know, like Donald Trump, he has done some things that I don't really, as a Christian, should I be voting for him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Along with the other things I asked.
Can we just set the stage right here? We are not telling you who to vote for.
No. Absolutely not.
These are strictly our opinions.
These are our opinions, and these are simply things that I've just seen reoccurring online. These are questions people are asking. No, we're not telling you who to vote for at all.
I just know
if you have that question in your head, that's something we could address.
I just know as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we are not telling you
who to vote for. We would never tell you who to vote for.
Okay?
I think that's a great question because why is it a great question? I think a lot of people are struggling with that. Who should I vote for? I know a lot of Christians want to vote for a Christian person.
Yeah.
And we could talk about this for hours. However, I do feel pretty strongly in the fact that I'm kind of I don't go for vote for the person. I more vote for the party.
Yeah.
Because I know how our political system works. Each party has a platform, and there are planks in those platforms, and I think for each one of us voting, it's not necessarily for the person as much as does that political party's platform match up. None of them are perfect, but where you value as a Christian, do you value more of the planks in the platform of one party, more conservative or more liberal in those things? And I think we really come into a struggle because unfortunately I know some people who would say, I am more on a conservative side when it comes to human life, but I'm more liberal when it comes to saving the planet. What do I do? Wow, this is a huge debate. So I think here's the deal. And I think some people are, well, I lean this side more economically, but I lean this side more morally. And so there's no perfect party.
Yeah.
There certainly is no perfect person.
Yeah.
But I think all of us have, first of all, I think we all have an obligation and responsibility to vote. Not just
definitely.
It is an obligation and a responsibility to vote. If you are a member of this culture, this society,
if you're a citizen,
you need to vote.
Yep.
Okay, now
that's the other thing I've seen is, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I've seen it posed. Well, I kind of feel uncomfortable voting for either one. Maybe it's better if I just don't. But we're saying
that is not true.
Yeah.
That is, if you don't vote, and this is smart alecky, I'm sorry, but if you don't vote, then please don't complain about stuff. I mean, come on, that's just practical.
Yeah.
if you don't vote, then you have no right to complain. Because you didn't have nothing to do with it. But let's get back to this. Like, who do I vote for as a Christian? Donald Trump is not a Christian, or so is Joe Biden a Christian? I have no idea. Let's take that out of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about more Judeo-Christian principles, foundations of culture and society that you most value. You're not going to value them all, and I think that we have an obligation to vote that direction. One is going to be closer to our own values or what we believe are Christian values than another. And I think we need to go that direction. So there are some huge debates here. There's some huge things. I know global warming, taking care of the planet is a huge issue for a lot of people. And which one is that? So let's say you're a person who I really value taking care of the globe.
Yeah.
And I really value economy, and I really value national defense, and I really value Christian morals. And so you gotta mix all that in and say, what's more important to me? To me, I think I personally, this is my opinion now, I don't vote Christian as much as I just vote Christian principles.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Kinda. You could explain a little more if you wanted to.
That I don't care if the person running is a Christian. I mean, they're not my pastor. Okay.
Yep.
So therefore, and the job of the federal government is to uphold our Constitution and keep us free. That's their job. Their job is not to, make sure my kids are educated and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
If I personally like for me, my value is I believe in biblical values of personal responsibility. I believe in biblical values of fairness. That is fairness and opportunity, not outcome. God, that's how God is,
Yeah.
And so I personally vote for. I don't value. I know a lot of Christians I would not want running this country, so I just don't value
Yeah.
Christian. I mean,
Yeah.
What if they're Baptists? My gosh, that was a joke, a total joke. Okay, so I think that's a great question, and I think that's what people should. I think personally, take the Christian out of it and say which political platform, best. Is closest to the things I value as a Christian person.
Yeah. So not which candidate
No.
seems more Christ-like.
No.
Yeah.
Or nice. I mean, don't be fooled by niceness. I don't care how nice somebody is. Are they doing the job?
Well, that's the other thing I've heard is because Donald Trump we've watched him for the past 4 years now. He can kind of have an edge. He can kind of not be so nice.
He's not the definition of nice.
At all times. But I've heard from other people talking to a Trump supporter who happens to be a Christian. Well, I mean, you see the way he acts. How could you call yourself a Christian supporting somebody like that? Does that kind of go back to what you were just talking about?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a president, as far as I can remember, and I'm not a great history buff, but that I would say, no, there's an example of a great Christian. Our presidents shouldn't be. That's not why we're voting for a president, to be a great example of a great Christian.
We're not a theocracy.
No, and we don't want to be. Honestly, we don't want to be. But I think we all, especially if we are Christian at all, or even religious in any way, I think we all value the biblical values.
Yeah.
And there are certain platforms that just promote biblical values more than others. Again, you're going to find something that's going to be against your values in both parties. You have to choose what's the higher value for you. And I know that the planks in the platform, this real liberal way of thinking, which I don't even think is Democrat. I think it's further than that. I think the real liberal thinking is amorality. Nothing's moral or immoral. Do all that stuff. Now to a Christian that might have a real problem, even though maybe they're going to save the planet and do a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
So that's where the struggle comes in. And are we willing to trade economics for morality? Are we willing to trade? That's what every individual has to decide.
Yeah.
I will say I've heard the argument for vote third party.
Yeah.
Since I've been able to vote, half my life. I totally disagree with that one.
I do too.
I understand if you live in an ideological perfect world where there's even a glimmer of a chance of that happening. I can understand that, but the fact is we don't live in that world. And anytime you vote third party, whichever of those two platforms you like the least, you are not voting against that then.
Right.
You're giving that platform that you disagree with more of their stances a better chance of winning.
You're coming down to just strategy, and I totally agree with you. There is strategy to this. If my political party if we were having a primary for who is going to get the nomination for a political party, I would actually vote for, if one person I think is more ideally perfect to what I feel, but the other person's more electable, I might lean that way, because there is a strategy to this. Instead of just being so ideological that, pie in the sky, everything perfect. We don't live in a perfect world. No. We don't. And so there is a little bit of a strategy to, hey, you know what? I believe this person is electable and they're way better than that person, only because of those platforms. That's what people have to understand, and it's not that person. It's what they represent.
Yeah.
That individual person in almost any election really doesn't have, they have more power as they get local, but the president,
they're a spokesperson for the most part.
There's not a lot of power.
No.
There's
some. They got some veto power, some special. They don't run the world. They're the country even.
Yeah.
Actually, it comes right down to it. The people really do make the country what it is.
Yeah.
The politicians aren't as powerful as we make them out to be.
Or as they think they are.
Or as they think they are.
So it's not a perfect system. It's not a perfect world, and there's no such thing as a perfect candidate.
No.
Yep.
So you're basically just saying, look at the platform. Don't necessarily put all your chips in the individual person basket.
Yeah. And
Which I would agree with.
I don't think I think there's the other side will always try and attack you personally.
Yeah.
How could you vote for this person? Don't you know what they do? I don't feel guilty for that. I don't feel guilty that I voted that person in. I know they're not perfect, like you said. I know the entire party is not perfect, but they're good. They're good, and the way they see the world definitely outweighs those couple bad things.
Their worldview, I agree with more than their worldview.
Yeah.
Maybe break it down that big picture.
Yep.
There's a worldview of each party. Which one do I closest agree with?
And there's going to be flaws in how that's played out. But
there's always going to,
that's good.
I think it's kind of naive to come at somebody with the question, how could you do that when they're not? It's like, I know they're not perfect. I don't nobody, here's two people you're choosing from. Neither one of them walks on water. So,
and we don't, even what we see of those people, we don't know who they really are.
Yeah.
Is
true.
So skewed by the media and for sure.
I vote party because of worldviews, platforms, their principles more than who they are or the little things they do.
So would you say as we wrap things up and as we get further into the year, probably one of the biggest and most important things we can do this year is vote?
100%.
It's very important.
Vote. Yeah.
But don't just vote informed.
Absolutely.
To just go and vote, I don't know. If you don't know their name or what they stand for, stay home.
Yeah.
We're talking about informed voters.
Do some homework.
And not off commercials.
Yeah.
Don't believe anything on a commercial, okay?
We approve this message.
If you've seen it on TV, don't believe it.
Yeah.
And all the way down the line. Not just, people pay most attention to the presidential election.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people on that ballot. Yeah. Do some homework.
Out of everything we vote for, the president's probably the least important. Seriously.
It's probably
as far as our daily lives and how the country runs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. Well, good chat, guys.
Great question. Thank you for asking it.
Yeah.
I really am glad that I had the opportunity to
Well, I think a lot of
opinion.
people I think that runs around in their head.
I do.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We did not tell you who to vote for, so hooray for us. All right, good deal. But send in some questions. This week was I felt sad. I didn't get a lot of messages or a lot of questions. So we need some things to talk about. So you can comment on this video with a question for next week, or you can email us contact@accesschurchonline.org, or you can send us a Facebook message, and we'd love to answer some of your questions. But thanks again for joining us. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back. Well done, guys.
All right.
Have a great day.